Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome to another Maveriqs Profile. I'm here with Larissa Miller, who is the founder of Pi Yoga Pants, and today we're going to talk about her entrepreneurial journey. Thank you for joining us, Larissa.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about Pi Yoga Pants. How did you get started with the company, and what problem is it that you solve with Pi Yoga Pants?
Well, when I first started Pi Yoga Pants, I was originally traveling in Southeast Asia. I had just quit my business job to travel the world for an entire year. I invested 2 years of my savings into the trip and decided to finally make the move, make the jump, and start traveling. And I always knew while I was doing it that I wanted to start a business. That was always in the back of my head. So I was always had my eye out for different business opportunities or different things that other countries were missing. Trying to think eventually I would bring a business to another country. But what I didn't realize is that I could even bring a product or an idea back into the United States.
Nice.
So when I was traveling over there, I was wearing my regular yoga pants because I was trying to do yoga. In Thailand, you always have this vision. You're gonna go in that pool by the beach and then do some yoga.
It's like the perfect paradise scenario.
Yeah, you had this in your mind. But it was really hot over there, like 90 degrees, 80% humidity, super hot. The pants got really uncomfortable really quick. Like if you're walking all day, which you do, if you're in Bangkok and it's 90 degrees, you're in a new country, so my first day I walked 13 miles.
Right.
You get some chafing, it's a little uncomfortable, your pants start sticking, and yoga pants in general, since they're so tight, they actually start to block off your pores, and then so your skin's not really breathing either. So day one, I realized that, and I was like, okay, I need to find some different clothes. All the clothes I've brought pretty much aren't really going to help. So I had started designing in my head a yoga pant that would be more versatile for hot weather, and so that'd be a little bit more comfortable. So in the back of my mind, I was trying to solve this problem of what can I wear for yoga or for travel that would just be a little bit more comfortable for me. And so I started looking for a seamstress in Thailand. I was looking all around for about a month, and no one wanted to give me their seamstress. I was having such a problem. All the little boutique shops I went to, they only wanted to sell me their merchandise. And they didn't really want to work with any customized work. They're like, oh yeah, you could just buy a lot of these and you'll be fine. And I'm like, oh, we
don't want to reveal the trade secrets.
Yeah, no one wanted to help me out really. So my visa was up, decided to go to Bali. That was next up on the list. And then when I got there, I was super excited to start the brand. And I was telling the guy, yeah, I really want to start this brand of yoga pants called Pi Yoga Pants. I had the name, I already had the vision. And I was telling him about how I wanted to give back to, some sort of conservation aspect, to have that be a big part of it. And my taxi driver was like, oh, you're kidding. I actually know a seamstress. Yeah.
Amazing.
It literally fell into my lap. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is the moment I've been waiting for.
So is that kind of from there, where did you take it? You got an introduction to the seamstress, you began prototyping, kind of where did you go from there?
Well, I mean, the idea of traveling and with such an extended period of time, the year I had planned, you can kind of change your plans any minute, literally. So while we were taking the taxi from Denpasar up to Ubud, he literally told us an hour into the trip, and I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Turn around. So we went back down there, met the seamstress, and ended up staying the next 2 to 3 more days down there, working with her to make a prototype. But it was a little bit of a struggle, to be honest, because when we first got down there, I realized she doesn't speak any English. Yeah.
Early obstacle.
First obstacle number 1. So that was definitely a big struggle. It was really hot there in Bali during that time, around March of last year. 100 degrees, 100% humidity, raining and lightning every day. So we're in her little house, it's super hot, trying to make the internet work, to use Google Translate to try to explain the designs and to try to get a prototype made, pretty much. Then the next day, she came with a prototype based on the design that I had given her. And she's like, oh, this is really good. I can actually take you to my label maker, who's my friend. She always has a friend. She's like, I have a friend who can make a tag for you. And then so after that, we met and went with the guy who could make the tags and the labels. And as soon as we got the prototype for that made and put it on the pants, that was definitely the moment when I was like, okay, I'm 100% in. What do we need to do to take this to the next level?
Very cool. Very cool. So essentially, the problem you had was a problem that you were experiencing while you were traveling, with kind of discomfort, the chafing you were saying, you didn't have versatile yoga clothes, so you went out and created them yourself.
Yeah, and especially in like the hot heat, especially with mosquitoes too.
Mhm.
If you wear long pants in really hot weather, I mean, you're gonna be sweating. But with the pants that I designed, I used rayon instead of like cotton or like spandex material, which is much more breathable than cotton and actually dries a lot faster too.
Nice.
So in the high heat, especially doing like hot yoga, the water evaporates a lot faster and then it leaves your skin like a little bit more comfortable because not only is it not tight, it's a little more flowy. So you have the air ventilation and then it dries faster. So it's solving like a really big problem for traveling
Right.
and then also for yoga at the same time.
So that was, you've kind of already touched on a little bit of where I was going. Is there anything more unique about your brand or about the features of your products that kind of sets you aside or differentiate?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the fact that it's made with rayon instead of like a spandex or a lycra material sets it alone, definitely. And as you guys can see, like all the different colors and materials. I currently have about 40 different styles, different patterns online, and I'm looking to release about 40 more with the spring collection that I have coming up.
Nice.
So there's a lot of like variety there, and I tried really hard to make sure that there was something for everyone.
Mhm.
I think I have more of a dark color scheme here, more of a boutique design, some solid colors too, like the Crimson Confidence. Just something for everyone, some with the flowers. And it's different too because now when I see customers, there's so many selections, but there's always one that they're drawn to, you know?
Right.
And they all have their own names, so I feel like once someone picks up a pair of pants, they really start to create that bond with the pair of pants. Because they're all so different.
So when was it that you were 100% and decided that this is what you wanted to do with your life? You wanted this to be your career and your profession?
Well, I think the moment when they put the label on the pair of pants, that's when I knew that I wanted to definitely fulfill, you know, making the pants and making this big company. But I don't think it was until about 4 months later that I really decided, like, you know, I think business was going good. I was going to like a lot of yoga festivals in San Diego, some in Los Angeles, some up in Seattle, and I was getting like good feedback from everyone, from everywhere that I went. And I was like, man, I could really make a, you know, a lifetime career out of this.
Okay.
And, you know, knock on wood, I'm not sure, it's only been about 8 months yet, but I think if I'm going in the direction that I am and I'm able to adapt to change, which is the, you know, one of the biggest problems that I feel like a lot of clothing companies encounter, just because there is so much competition and trends are constantly changing.
Right.
And like, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I quickly learned that the fashion industry is 9 months ahead. So let's say I'm selling clothes to everyone here in the wintertime, but the big stores and the big chains, they're actually shopping for fall of 2017. So that means even when I started, I was already 9 months behind.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's, you know, something unique that you've learned along the journey. And you mentioned some early obstacles. What are some challenges, you know, that you faced over this 8-month path or journey that, you know, you can share with our audience and let them know, you know, these are the challenges that I faced, this is how I've overcome them, and what have you learned, like what lessons have you learned from that?
Definitely. I think starting from the beginning, I feel like almost everything was a challenge. Besides the fact of meeting my taxi driver who introduced me to the seamstress, that was an honest blessing. That was, I was like, okay, I just have to take this
Right,
now.
right.
But I mean, even before that, it was challenging just to find a seamstress. And then the next challenge was the communication barrier. I mean, I still work with this woman and her husband and her daughter. None of them speak English. We had to get her daughter-in-law in to help us translate now. So we've got a way,
Wow.
but there's kind of a roundabout way. Next challenge, I think, was internet. I was hoping that I could do all of this overseas.
Okay.
I wanted to start it in Bali and have it be based out of there and, you know, live over there in Bali to really embody the culture of the brand. The Wi-Fi is so terrible overseas. Like, we are so lucky to have really good and fast internet.
Yeah.
What took me almost a week over there took me about a matter of hours when I came back. So when I came back, I got it launched within about a week. And since then, I've started going to events. And those have been, you know, a bit of a challenge, but also really insightful because I see a lot of different demographics and how I can work with different markets. You know, every market is a different trial and error, and I don't really know. I mean, I'm taking a long shot here to see if this market is for me. And some events are good, some are bad. I'm quickly learning that the demographic is really important. Like yogis, you guys are my girls, you guys are my guys, the kids.
Right on.
Love my my yogis.
So you mentioned events, and there's tons of different ways to promote a brand when you're like first coming out, and you can use the internet, you can use traditional marketing, advertising, so on and so forth. What made you decide to attend these events? Like, what was kind of the inspiration behind that, and what have you gotten out of it?
The inspiration behind the events actually started because the first 2 events that I went to were hosted by my friends that I met. So one of the events, the International Day of Yoga, which is in San Diego, she's actually hosting it again. She was at the cafe when you picked me up earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Cool.
She's has this event coming up at Balboa Park. She's been doing it for almost 3 years, and I was like, okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to attend your event. I'll support you. You'll support me. And, it's good to help out other people in the community, because then you start to grow this community that is so important, especially when starting a brand. Another one of the festivals I went to was Tula Fest up in Seattle, and my friend Alondra, who started that, she's actually a big influencer in the brand as well. Because I met her about a week after I started, had this idea, and she was telling me how she wanted to start a yoga festival in Seattle. She doesn't live in Seattle though. She lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
Totally going out on a limb here.
Yeah.
Well, she definitely gave it her all. She was working on the website while we were traveling, and I just thought she was so ambitious for trying to do it, And I was like, she can try to start a yoga festival while in the Philippines, in Seattle, in a place she's never, lived. She doesn't really have that many networks, but she's gonna try to pull it off, and she probably will. If you never stop trying, you're gonna make something happen.
Nice. And
so I promised her if she started the festival that I would drive up from San Diego to Seattle to support her, and then ended up going up there, driving up and supporting her and being at the event. And it turned out pretty good actually. She had about 300 attendees, which is
cool.
Probably better than I could have done.
Very cool. So you're getting networking out of this.
Oh,
you're collaborating with people. Are there any interesting partnerships that you've gotten out of these events that you can tell us about, or?
Yeah, there's a ton.
Elaborate.
I think collaboration is the funnest part for sure. When I met you at the Pineapple Project event, collaboration right there. I feel like collaboration is really key, because even if you meet people in person, or if you meet someone online, or if you see someone whose Instagram is really parallel to what you're doing. One of my big marketing aspects is Instagram. So if I find someone who's parallel to that I can cross market with or work together with them, it really opens your audience up to their audience, and it brings people together. And so that's one of the really big things I feel like you can accomplish with collaboration, working together to expand your market.
So you've talked a little bit about your target graphics that you reach out to, and it sounds like just in the 8 months that you've been after this, you've kind of built a following, a little bit of a community. How do you interact with your clients, customers, people who follow you on maybe Facebook or Instagram? What are you doing to kind of bring value to them so that they continue to follow and purchase products from your brand?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And to be honest, I think one of the vital parts of my company too. I feel like for me personally, it's not just about starting a business. It's more about creating a lifestyle with fitness, with yoga, with staying healthy, and with having a positive outlook on life. I've really tried to embody that with the brand, but also with all of my friends too. Everyone that I've met, all my girls that come to all the photo shoots, I'm constantly hosting events in San Diego. I post them on the Facebook. If you guys ever want to come, everyone's invited. We've really created this nice community that is all of my friends, all the people that I've met because friends bring a friend, and I'll post it on Instagram, and 4 people show up that I've never met before, but they give hugs when they first get there, and they're I'm happy to be here, let's make some magic happen.
Awesome.
And it's really grown this really nice community that I think is my personal favorite part of the business. And it's really nice too, because as my friends travel, they're taking their yoga pants with them. One of my friends is in Minnesota right now. She's taking some really nice photos and spreading the word. So it's not only created this community, but I think it's definitely tied into the sisterhood of the traveling pants, and kind of has brought that to life a little bit.
Nice reference.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's really cute. I like it.
So what other techniques, you've talked about events and interacting with your community, what other techniques from just kind of a logistics or operations standpoint are you using to grow your business? And I'll give you an example, just setting up a website and having an e-commerce store. What else do you do, maybe from an online standpoint and then maybe from a grassroots standpoint, to grow your business?
I feel like I'm constantly trying to grow my business online, mainly through Instagram. That was the main marketing tool that I used from the very beginning. Even when I first had the idea, I was like, okay, bought the website. It was like 99 cents. And then went on Instagram and I was like, okay, it's there. So I started building that, posting travel photos. You know, even though it wasn't directly related to the yoga pants yet, I knew where it was gonna go. And I didn't have any of my friends from back home. I just wanted to create a real organic audience based around like travel and yoga.
That's kind of your brand message too, right?
Yeah. So I really wanted to like take that and grow the Instagram with that, and use that as my main outlook and try to, you know, get that going from the beginning. Because pre-marketing is a really big part of business too. You can't just come out with an iPhone and have no marketing, then no one knows what it is, and they're like, okay, well, why should we buy it? You have to give people a reason to want it, or you know, to want to be a part of that.
Okay, so Instagram, like anything else, I mean, I know you have a Facebook, so you're doing like events on Facebook as well.
Oh yeah, we do events all the time, and I'm posting everything that we have coming up. We're going to be at the San Diego Yoga Festival next weekend. That's a 4-day event. We also are doing a couples yoga retreat on Valentine's Day in Ensenada. So we'll be down there, and we're also going to be at the Sedona Yoga Festival. We have a carpool going if anyone wants to come. I think we have about a 3-car, you know, caravan headed out there. We're gonna get a nice Airbnb if anyone wants to come.
Sweet.
You know, all those kind of events to bring everyone in.
We'll have links in the video for all of these events as well as Larissa's website, so keep an eye on the description, guys. I have to mention the design. So we're sitting here with you know, a table full of your product, and it's ranging anywhere from like a solid crimson red to blue with some black, you know, interesting designs on it, you know, to floral. How are you guys coming up with this? Are you working with creatives? Like, how does this all come to fruition?
Well, part of it is from my own design, and a lot of it is collaboration with my seamstress as well. I really wanted the pants to have a Balinese, like, international influence, and so I wanted it to be something different, you know, something that us in America or, you know, in other countries have never seen before. So I've been working directly with them to make sure that it still has like the Balinese influence and, you know, to keep it tropical, but I originally started with a bunch of bright colors and a bunch of whites, a bunch of really bright colors, and everyone's like, we need some black, we need some blue, like tone it down a little bit.
Give us some bright options, sure.
Yeah, so the crimson one and the onyx flower of life, those were later additions, but the bright ones are still like very fun, and like you still get a lot of people that are very interested. But for the everyday wear, like the blue boutique is really popular. The Bohemian Princess is really popular. You know, just something that, you know, you would wear right now. I mean, San Diego's more of a like industrial, like not industrial, like metropolitan city, but we still have the beach. So we have the best of both worlds in a sense. But in some places where they don't, you know, I want to make sure that they're not wearing this and feeling totally out of place.
Cool. So I want to touch a little bit more on you as an entrepreneur. And I'm always interested in how people, you know, educate themselves and improve and, you know, kind of continue to learn in their trade. And, you know, in that vein, I'd like to ask, you know, how do you self-educate? Are there certain outlets that you go to learn more about your industry? Are you reading any books? What can you share with our audience about, you know, how to level up?
That's a really good point. I feel like I know stuff, but then half times when I started, I feel like I don't know anything at all. So I'm constantly like going online, reading forums. You know, I was reading a lot of like YouTube, watching a lot of YouTube channels on like advice on how people start their business. I just started listening to some podcasts, and I decided that this line pretty much summarizes, you know, when you start up a business. Starting up a business is like taking a class with no teacher. You kind of just have to figure it out, you know.
Real good point.
Yeah, you know, talk to your friends who've done it before. You know, talk to, like at the events that I'm going to, I'm constantly trying to ask questions, you know. Because these people, they are doing the same thing, but they're like a year or two ahead of me. They have the answers, you know, and like people are so willing to help out, especially if you know, want to collaborate with them right then and there in the future. You know, it's all about working together, and knowledge is power. So definitely have to harness those opportunities when they come by.
And, you know, what would you say to somebody who's out there, they may have an idea or they have a project or a solution that they want to put out in the world, and they're trying to be a self-starter, but they really haven't pressed the go button? What advice would you give to somebody like that who's on the cusp but really needs to, you know, that push to get their motivation going?
I think the top 2 things I would mention is someone who wants to start their business, or, you know, to start an idea. The first one is to test it, you know, test it in your market, and, you know, ask people if they would even buy it or if they would use the service, and to, you know, ask online as well. Sometimes your friends and family don't exactly know the industry that you're trying to get into, so it doesn't hurt to go online and, you know, if it's on Instagram, post about your product and see if people are even interested in it. Because I've seen a lot of my friends want to start businesses where they have this idea, but it's very, very similar to like a lot of other things that people are doing. For example, like t-shirts or like water bottles, like, you know, your more generic things.
Sure.
You have to give them a purpose to want to buy yours for yours versus somebody else's.
Right.
So I would say definitely test the waters before you just dive on in. But if you've done that, I'd say don't be scared. Everyone's scared. I'm scared.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting something new. You don't know if it's going to succeed. But the worst case is that if you try it and you fail, you know another way to try. And you know that takes you just a step ahead than when you were before you started.
Yeah, I say it all the time, like every mistake is a lesson.
Exactly.
So if you do try it and you fail, you've learned how not to do it that way, so you can go and do it another way. And testing, I agree, like testing and experimentation is always a really good way to kind of get your thing out there and see how it works in the market, see how it works in the field, and then learn those lessons and pivot. Can't tell you how many times I've done it. So I'd really like to know a little bit more about you on the entrepreneurship side. Do you have any role models, any rock star entrepreneurs or business people that you follow and are like really into, or who are you taking a look at out there?
Well, I think personally for me, I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs, but I think the ones that really influenced me the most are my mom and dad. Don't let this go to your guys' ego, but they've been entrepreneurs. They've been entrepreneurs ever since I was born, even before that. My dad started his own business, buying and reselling antiques. And so we got into that industry, buying stuff, learning the industry, which was hard, Every industry has something that you need to learn. So buying stuff, fixing it up, and then reselling it. And he even got to the point where he started creating his own furniture. Even if it's just a mock of a name brand, he's still like doing it in like a pretty good way, making a decent profit on it, and he's selling his own art. And he's been doing that ever since I was born. But in more recent years, they started turning that entrepreneur side to real estate.
Okay.
So they got their first house, started to pay off their mortgage and got to the point where they can buy a second property. And now they're at the point where they have 7 properties all around San Diego. They finally found storage for all that furniture. So now they put that in the apartments that they have for rent, and they've been using that on Airbnb. It's just rent out furnished homes. So they've definitely given me a different outlook on entrepreneurship. And I mean, there's no wrong way, and it's always okay to like take a different route. If my dad had stuck just to antiques, I don't know if he would have been as successful. But adapting to your environment, adapting to change, he's found a way to maximize the profit and to learn a new industry. So I think they definitely taught me the most.
Very cool. Parental influencers, I like that. So what are some habits that you've acquired in being an entrepreneur that maybe you didn't possess before, or you weren't leveraging as much before, but now it's like an integral part of what you do in your everyday life?
I think the number one thing that I've adapted to utilize every day is self-control.
Okay.
And the aspect that if you try to do everything, you get distracted, you're losing self-control because you're focusing on 10 things at once.
Sure.
For example, when I first started the company, I promised myself that I would give the business 100% of all my energy, all my effort, all my time to just making Pi Yoga Pants become as successful as it can be. I take it as a project from school and just try to get an A++ on it and do it as good of a job as you can. Try to impress yourself. And I feel like I was really trying to do something where I could look back on it and be proud of myself. Because I feel like a lot of times people get scared that they're going to fail. But I really wanted to try to, make it my best.
Awesome. And what is the best piece of advice that you have been given in your entrepreneurial journey? And what's the best piece of advice that you can offer to our audience, people out there who may have a business or are thinking about starting a business?
I think the best advice that I've acquired over time was that you want to fail faster. That way you can achieve stuff faster. And I've taken that and applied it to myself. I feel like I used to be very frugal with my money. I didn't want to invest in things because I was just scared like, I don't want to spend that much money, I want to save it. Sure. So for me, it's learning to not be so guarded on my money, but to accept that something is a business expense and it's going to cost money. This is going to cost money. It doesn't come free. So you kind of have to just take the risk and just let your money go and know that it's going to come back to you, and hopefully you'll get more of it in the long run.
Cool.
But that was definitely a hard so embedded in my mind from an early age. Like you need to save.
Right.
But you gotta spend if you want to get something back as well.
Yeah, it takes investment in your business.
Exactly.
In order to grow and prosper. I think that's a great piece of advice. Is when you start to earn money, some people want to go out and spend it and have a good time with it because they've made a profit. And it's like I need to celebrate, or they want to hold on to it, but it does take a level of investment in order to grow and continue to grow and have that exponential growth over the years. So I think that's a great piece of advice. What do you got going on? What's new? What does the future hold for Pi Yoga Pants? Is there anything exciting that you can tell our audience about that you have going on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So several good things have come my way recently. Number one, my really good friend Jillian, who I met a couple years ago, she just reached out to me in regards to one of the email newsletters I sent out, saying she now works doing Amazon seller accounts. And so we got on the phone earlier today and we got to talking. She's like, yeah, it's easy. I know how to do it. I'll get you set up. I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Awesome.
Because it's hard to get set up. They have so many requirements and there's a lot of back end work. And I've been trying to do it for about 4 months. So we're going to meet again or to get on the phone again on Thursday and go over that and hopefully have it up on Amazon in the next couple of weeks.
Exciting.
And also, I'm going to launch my Kickstarter this year. So I'm really excited for that one. I'm hoping to launch it on National Pi Day, which is March 14th.
Okay.
Date to be determined. It depends how much back-end work.
Good luck.
Thank you. I got a lot of the footage for it actually the last time I was in Bali. I did a lot of work with some dive instructors and got to interview them about the sea turtle conservation aspect of my brand, since I give 10% back to sea turtle conservation, and really to get some expert advice and deeper knowledge and perspective on what I can do, and I think that will really leverage the Kickstarter to take it to the next level so the brand can get big and so that we can give more back to conservation.
Nice. So we'll have everybody keep an eye out for that Kickstarter.
Lots of good things.
March 14th you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. And what kind of perks and incentives can we expect from the Kickstarter? I mean, are we getting some cool pants and some exclusive offers there?
Well, yeah, definitely. I just need to restructure it because the first time I wrote my Kickstarter, I was like, I'll give you guys hundreds of pants, and now I'm realizing I need to slow down because the business is growing and it's growing fast. So I need to make sure that things work out, but I'll still hook you guys up and make sure everyone's taken care of. I want one of the prizes to be an all-inclusive, trip with everyone who donates to Bali, so we can all go together to do a yoga retreat. How cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, or some way to create a community involvement. I feel like that's definitely the best part about it. Something I really want to focus on.
All right, and then I guess in closing, what are the best places that we can follow Pi Yoga Pants and the updates and what you got going on?
So Instagram is a great place. We're at Pi Yoga Pants. No spaces, dashes, or periods, just Pi Yoga Pants. We're also on Facebook at Pi Yoga Pants. Our website, www.piyogapants.com. The Facebook has more of the events, and the Instagram has more of the involvement that we have in the community. But you guys can also stop by any of our 9 studios that we're currently in San Diego. We're also in Seattle and Maui. We're at the Hatha Yoga, House of Yogi, Kundalini Windansea. We're also at Hot Feet Fitness in Seattle. Okay. And then we're in the Maui Shala and Dance in Maui.
And those are probably all listed on your website as well, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, so no matter where you are, you can definitely get in touch with us or be part of the community that we have here.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate you being our Maveriqs Profile for today. And keep an eye out for Pi Yoga Pants, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.